Hello, Heroclix people. This is Matt Riddle. I'm trying something new and talking about another game I really like to play, which is Heroclix. I was thinking about what kind of videos people would like to see, and an idea came to mind. Why don't you talk about the current Fear Itself uh, event going on in Heroclix? Okay, so what you see, this is the web page for Heroclix.com. This is just like an overview of the event. Pretty much what's been going on for about the last year and a half to 2 years is that WizKids, the company that creates Heroclix, has been holding these events throughout the stores in North America and maybe outside of North America. And pretty much the events have to do with comic book events. You know, big events that happened in DC or Marvel comics, and they've translated it to the Heroclix game. If you don't know anything about Heroclix, short and simple explanation of it: it's a miniature collectible figure game that is based off of comic book heroes and villains, and it plays kind of like chess with superpowers. Well, Fear Itself is the current event. It started in June, and we're about halfway through it. We're about up to month 4 now, and I just wanted to give an overview of it and give my thoughts on it about halfway through of it. So just to basically go into it, you know, pretty much you get to choose the worthy or the mighty, and it goes back to the storyline. You know, there's a bunch of bad. If you know who Thor is, well, this guy's related to Thor, and he's a really bad guy, and he's like, I'm gonna take over the world, but I need people to help me. So what he does is Thor's hammer, it's really cool and stuff. Well, he takes weapons similar to Thor's hammer, and he throws them down to Earth, and they land in different areas, and people pick them up, and they get kind of like hypnotized or, like taken over by the weapon, and they become the worthy. And they're bad guys because the hammers are bad, or well, the different weapons are bad. And you have people like Juggernaut, the Hulk, Thing, Red Skull's daughter right here. She gets a weapon. Absorbing Man, Titana, Great Gargoyle. All those people get these weapons that become super powerful. And like the Avengers are like, holy crap, we can't take them on. It's so hard. They're too strong. They're like Thor. They're like an army of Thors, pretty much. So what Iron Man does is, because Captain America is kind of disposed right now, and if you don't know anything about it, you may want to go back and read that storyline. The event's called Fear Itself. You can just Google that. But pretty much Iron Man, who's currently in charge of the Avengers, he goes down to the Asgardian world, and he talks. He tries to talk to Odin, like, help us, Odin. You gotta help us. And Odin's like, no thanks. So Iron Man's like, man, we need some way to, like, equal the scales, kinda. So he's like, why don't we make some cool weapons for our guys, too? So he works with some dwarven people in the Asgardian world and makes some weapons and gives them out to Wolverine and Red She-Hulk and Hawkeye and Spider-Man, and they all become Tron-looking, with their costumes, and they're all like super powered up people, So for this event, you either choose the worthy or the mighty, and that's who you play as each month. You're either the bad guys or the good guys, and you get an ATA, which is additional team ability that you can put on each of your team, depending on which team you chose, and it makes your character stronger, which is cool. You get and then each month. It keeps track of like who's winning, the good guys or the bad guys. Who took over this place? Good guy, bad guy. Who took over this place? Good guy, bad guy. All this kind of stuff. And at the end, it's supposed to decide who did better, bad guys or good guys, and the players on the side that had the most points get an extra special prize. So each month, it's set up where you get different prizes. Every month you get a participation prize, which is a hammer. One of the different hammers that goes on the resource, the Book of Skull resource. If you don't know what a resource is, it's a oh man, I don't have a picture of it, but it's a little outside the game device that has powers on it that you can use to enhance your characters within the game. And they have different pieces to it that you can attach to it. You can see it kind of in the picture here. Here's a hammer attached to the Book of Skulls. Let me just like Google that. I mean, skulls, Heroclix. I'm just gonna Google it because it's kind of, you kind of see it. But this is the Book of Skulls, and you can put different hammers into the different holes and stuff, and they have powers on it and stuff that you can like do stuff and like, oh, I give my character this power so much, So I think that's pretty cool. I love collecting the hammers and stuff. I think that's really cool. So you get a hammer every month for free. You get the resource for free. Well, I mean, you got to pay the entry fee, whatever that is. In each month they have like a certain LE limited edition figure you can get. Like the top number of people get it. So this month, for month 1 was Kid Loki riding a tiger type creature. Month 2 is Hela. Month 3 is Thor with a sword of something. Month 4 is Odin. Month 5 is the serpent, but I guess he goes by another name of what's his name? Cole Borson. This is the main bad guy, but like he starts out really, really old because like Red Skull's daughter just woke him up, but he gets stronger and he gets, all that kind of stuff. And then he turns into the serpent. I think he turns into the serpent. This is like the huge, awesome. You gotta see it. Let's see. Maybe I go Heroclix serpent. Oh, maybe I can find this. There's a picture. It's pretty big. Oh, look at that sucker. Look at I found it. That thing is big. I mean, look how small the figures is compared to it. It's huge. I mean, this is the grand prize. I mean, like what everybody is competing the last month for. It's ridiculously awesome. You can get something like this in a little miniature collectible game. It's so cool. So each month you're adding to your hammers and you're working towards that, and it's pretty cool. You get a new hammer. You get to play on a new map. You get some new figures, which are for the first time this event had its own booster pack you could get. Just based off the event, it would have its own figures, and it would be these guys pretty much. The guys down here that you see that are, the Hulk, Juggernaut, the people, the worthy people, and then also had a lot of the mighty people, and it had other people that were kind of, had played a part in this series, and a lot of these people, like Asgardian Troll, they're just generic people, Speedball, they were just kind of related to the story and stuff. But it's really cool. I mean, it does cost a little bit of money. But again, what game doesn't cost any money to play? And I like this event. I do think though. Here, this is where I'm going to start giving my thoughts on it. I do think people have gotten burnt out really quickly on this event. Because everybody wants to collect this whole set, this whole set of characters. Because the only way to get these characters is to go to the events and participate in them and get the booster packs and open them up. So everyone's like, holy crap, they're going to be super rare. They're going to go for $1 million each, and it's going to take forever to get them. And honestly, your situation may differ from everybody else's, but in my experience, it really, as long as you had a few people to go play games with, it really wasn't that hard to get your hands on much of the set. Really, the only hard things were the super rares, because the rares you got one guaranteed rare in every pack. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rares. After 9 booster packs, you're pretty much gonna have a full common, uncommon, rare set for the most part, and you get 9 booster packs in about, well, if you only get 1 booster pack a month, you would get 6 booster packs by the end of it. But if you play it in more than one event, which a lot of competitive players do, you can make that 12 booster packs by the end of the month, 18 booster packs by the end of the month. And if you have friends, that are also collecting the figures too, that part doubles and triples because now you can trade up your extras among each other. Or if, you don't want to play bad guys. I don't play bad guys. I just don't play bad guys. I don't play bad guys. So I have no interest in Nurkod, but I would really want a Doctor Strange. So if I pull a Nurkod, maybe I could trade Nurkod for Doctor Strange. The same thing up here. Noel, he's the Hulk. He's cool and everything. Really cool. But he doesn't have Avengers keyword. I can't play him with the good guys. So I would trade him for something like Wolverine. Why not, dude? Wolverine. That's so funny. It looks like he's burned. It looks like somebody stuck a stick up his butt and put him in the fire between like a marshmallow and a stick of Hershey chocolate. It just like made a s'mores out of him. But look at his keywords: Avengers, X-Force, and X-Men. You can play him on any kind of team, and get a good utility piece out of him. So I would definitely go for something like Wolverine. So it's not that hard to collect this set, I don't think. I really don't think so. Overall, going back to the Burnout thing, so people tried their hardest to just go to as many events as possible and play as much as possible and get as many figures. And now it's like 3 or 4 months in, and they got almost the entire set, and they're going, man, we got 2 or 3 more months of this. Possibly 6 more events. 6 to 12 more events. Well, no, 6 to 9 more events, possibly. Oh man, I don't know how much longer I can, withstand myself. And then we're getting, spoilers for the new event coming up, which is Wolverine. Which is, which is Avengers versus X-Men. And people are like, oh, it's the new thing. Oh, I love it. 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 Tell me about the new thing. And they're forgetting about Fear itself. But I really like the booster pack model, but it has been really expensive. Not only to the stores that have had purchased them previously to sell to the customers, but also the customers that are going to 2 to 3 stores each month to play in the event. I think it's been very expensive for them. I won't go on to the next. I won't talk about the next event, but I do think that this has been a very expensive event to participate in. If you didn't like the Fear Itself storyline, there really wasn't much for you. You could collect hammers for the Book of Skulls. Let's talk about the Book of Skulls. Okay, so there's a whole lot of talk about, resources and how they affect the game. At first I was really in love with the Book of Skull. Because you don't just equip it, you don't just assign it to one of your characters. It's not like I'm going to put the Infinity Gauntlet on Iron Man and he's just going to become God Iron Man. So I have this one really, really strong character on my team and all my other guys don't matter. Book of Skull, it is assigned to your entire team, and you can each turn, or maybe multiple times during a turn, you can give a hammer to one of your characters. Well, you go through a different process, but yeah, each one ends up with a hammer, kinda. It takes time to do that, but you end up being able to strengthen multiple people on your team, which I really, really like, because I've never been one of those players that have been like, I want Superman, a big Superman figure, and then I want a bunch of weenie guys. I've never been like that. I've always been like, I like X-Men because I can go with Wolverine and Cyclops and Gambit and Jean Grey, and they're all kind of even leveled, and they all work together well, and they're just like, balanced. I've always been like that. So the Book of Skull really works for me. It really works for my kind of playstyle. So at first I was really like, this is perfect for me. The more I play it, though, it seems like it almost gets in the way. Because either I rush into battle too quickly, and then I don't have time to drop hammers and then have to pick it up because I'm missing out on a potential attack, dealing potential damage to the opponent's team just to pick up a hammer, or my opponent comes after me too early and I don't have the time to do it. It just seems like in a game where each player can just sit back in their starting zone and just set up, Well, you can't even do that with Book of Skull because you got to be 5 squares out to even drop a hammer. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if each team was all about just setting up first, then the Book of Skull would be really cool. But, you know, when newer figures showing up like Spiral and Longshot, or is it Shatterstar? I think it's Shatterstar. You know, that can just teleport a character, or maybe even open up a portal all the way across the field on the first turn of the game and be in your face before you can blink. The Book of Skull is just too slow. It just seems really, really slow. I mean, it seems like a lot of fun. It's super cheap. I mean, like, for 3 hammers, you're probably paying 15 points. You can't even run a character for 15 points. I mean, you have bystanders you could run for 15 points, but that's about it. But, I don't know. And it seems really cool. You're like, well, but if I'm running 7 or 8 hammers, you know, like one of my characters can use all the slots, all the powers that you see down here, you know. But, and also, like, I can put 2 hammers on each of my guys, and then if I have this many hammers, like, they have power cosmic and stuff, and I'm like, is that even ever gonna happen in any of your games? Like, what kind of scenario is it where you have, I guess, 4 different characters, you've given each of them 1 hammer, then you had enough time to give each of them a second hammer. Then, well, no, it says after 7 hammers have been equipped to friendly characters. So you just need to give out 4, then you need to give out 3 more. And then they get power cosmic. It just seems like it would take the entire game to do that. You know, compared to other resources that provide a more instantaneous effect, even if it is just to 1 character. I don't know. I will say, though, the hammers are really, really awesome. Being able to give a character +2 attack, which, I don't know if I have a hammer on here anywhere. But, okay, yeah, I'll bring it up here. Come on, what are you? Curse hammer right now, okay. So they all, you know, this character modifies the attack value +2. That's the trend among all the different hammers so far. And that +2 attack is so useful. Because you see a lot of like 9, 10 attacks. And you see a lot of starting out 17, 18 defense. Maybe even with like combat reflexes or energy shield deflection, which bumps it up another 2 to almost 19, 20. It's really, really, really difficult to hit a 19, 20 when you have a 9 or 10 attack. It's just, you could swing the entire game and miss. I mean, really, it's statistically not going to happen that often. But having the +2 attack is really, really nice. It means if you have any other way of modifying your stats, if you have a built-in perplex or something, you know, it just makes that character so much better. And that a lot of these guys, you know, gives you, you know, super strength or something. And super strength will pump up your damage by +2 if you're carrying a heavy. You know? Oh, let's see. I know one of these does. Charge, blah, 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 blah. Okay. No, it's range shot. Okay, come on. Really? 2 of them give you range shot? Oh, that's a new one. Okay. Nope. Okay, I thought one of them gave you super strength. Oh, or these, no, I don't know. You know what I'm just saying. They're really good. They actually make the character really cool. You know, especially the running shot ones. You know, they give you a minimum range of 4. I don't know how many times I put them on somebody like Colossus that has like a starting damage of 4 or 5 damage, and they're like, "What? You're running shotting me? You know, you're moving like 5 and then shooting me 4 away for 5 damage? Heck yeah, I am." You know, that's just so really cool, and because Colossus may have super strength, he could running shot, then throw. Well, no, he probably okay, never mind that. That's a stupid thought. He wouldn't be doing any more damage. But you know, if he had super strength and like 1 damage, he could still pick up an object like a heavy and throw it and deal 3 damage. And what's so great about that is with running shot, when you're throwing a weapon, you don't base it off this minimum range of 4. You base it off of, you can throw a light 8 squares or a heavy 6. So he could running shot, pick up an object, and throw a heavy object 6 squares away. He can move 5, throw a heavy 6 squares, 11 squares range, and deal 3 damage possibly. I think that's so really cool. So I love the hammers. I love the idea of enhancing your entire team, not just one character. But I think it takes so long to do it. If you could just assign a hammer to each of your team at the very beginning of the game, that wouldn't take as much time. And I don't know how overpowered that would be or not, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be easier to pull off at least that. So, overall, I like the event so far. I think people have been burnt out though. Just playing so much for this event, and we still have. I mean, we're coming up on month 4, and we still have month 4, month 5, month 6, and I think people are just like tired of all this. The Wolverine and the X-Men set hit, the Amazing Spider-Man set hit, Teen Titans set hit. It was just so much to take in that I think they've been kind of burnt out, and I look forward to the event coming up this fall, and I think I'll do another video on it just for an early preview of it. Well, but this was the really long. Thank you for listening to this intro explanation. I guess I think it's pretty much explained pretty well. Fear itself, Heroclix event. I think it's pretty cool. If you want to get into something like this, it's really easy to get into each month. I mean, it's really true. You don't even have to own any figures because the sphere itself is built around a sealed type event where you just go and you pay for your 2 booster packs. One will be a Fear itself booster, one will be whatever they want to sell with it. And you open up both booster packs and you make your team out of that, and you can use your resource with it and whatever hammers you had. But you don't have to use that at all, and a lot of people don't because I don't know. But just go to their website, heroclix.com /fear itself, and you can click on register in the Wizard Events now, and you can go up here and you can look for stores, find stores and events, type in your zip code, search, and it should bring up stores in your local area that are running the event. I would really look into it. Maybe if you could just get a month in and just see what it's all about, it'd be really cool. Well, thank you for watching the video. I know it was super long. If you like this, please comment below. I really appreciate everybody's comments. And have a good day. Heroclix rules.